Welcome everyone to another learning day for Java. And before we start today's class, can you all message in chat what all did we learn until now? Class, object, method, variables, constructor, constructors, methods, initialization blocks, Java basics, instances, packages, imports. So we have learned lot of core topics. So I have renamed the course as Java Fundamentals course, and we have looked into Java Essentials. We have looked into Java Core, classes, objects, variables, methods. Now we are going to look into certain things: operators and scopes, decision constructs, and looping constructs. So let me quickly go through the notes. Okay, so first of all, a little bit of theory. What is an expression in Java? What is an expression? An expression consists of operands and operators. So if you know a little bit of mathematics, then you can understand what operators and operands are. So in the expression 3 plus 5, plus is the operator, and 3 and 5 are the operands. And in the expression a plus 5, plus is the operator, and a and 5 are the operands. Operands are normally variable names, example a, or literals 3. Evaluating and assigning an expression to a variable, we have seen, right? We did in C equal to a plus b and all in our examples. So you can say int sum. So here int is the data type, sum is the variable name, and you can say equal to an expression a plus b. So here equal to operator evaluates the right side and assign the result to the left side. Here sum is the variable of type int, a plus b should be an expression that can evaluate to an int. And you also have things such as logical expression, where you say whether true or false and all, right? So the result will be a Boolean. So a logical expression is an expression that evaluates to a true or false value. So Boolean is the type here. Is complete is a variable name equal to a greater than b. So a and b should have some values, and then the result, whether if a is greater than b, this is complete will be true. If a is less than b or equal to b, then this is complete will be false. A Boolean variable can hold true or false, or an expression that will evaluate to true or false. And operators, equality operator consists of two equal signs, a equal to b, and when evaluated will return either a true or false value. It should not be confused with the assignment operator equal to. So here, in comparison, you have equal to. When you say a equal to b, means it is a check whether a is equal to b. A double equal to and equal to is something that beginners usually get confused with. So single equal to is for assigning, double equal to is for checking if two variables are equal. So basically two operands are equal. And equality operator can be used in logical expressions. Similarly, we can use other relational operators such as less than, greater than or equal to, etc. in logical operations. So these are all understood. You can go through the notes again. And we also have logical operators such as and, or, not. So and is this double and, double or not. So these are also called as short circuit operators. You also can have single and, single or, etc. So the single ones are single and or are also referred to as a bitwise operator. We will not go into that. We want to keep things simple. And operator returns true if both conditions are true, while or operator returns true if one of the conditions are true. Not changes a true or false message here. So if a equal to 5 and b equal to 6, and if I say not a equal to b, what will be the result? Will it be true or false? So what was the question? I have a equal to 5 and b equal to 6. And then I am doing not of a equal to b. What is the result of a equal to b? It is false. And what is not of false? It is true. And parenthesis can be used to control the order of evaluation of complex logical operators. You can read about short circuit, bitwise and or operators but we'll not be looking into it right now. And then even instance of operator, we will not see right now. That we will keep it towards the end after we discuss about inheritance and all those things. Okay, we have prefix and postfix operators. The plus plus expression is a prefix operator, and expression plus plus is a postfix operator. And when used in assignment or print context, like within a print statement, a prefix operator, example, a plus plus, first increments a and then returns the value of a, whereas a postfix operator returns the value of a and then increments a. Okay, so we will go to ID and make things clear. So for example, if the value of a is now 5 and you are printing plus plus a, what it will print? 6 correctly. And then the value of a is 5 and you are printing a plus plus 2 times. What will be the value of a? I am printing a plus plus 2 times in 2 print statements. What will be the value of a in both of those cases? Okay, 5, 6. And if I am printing 2 times plus plus a, what will be the value of a in both of those times? I am printing plus plus a 2 times. And value of a is currently 5. What will be the value of a in both of those times? 6, 7. And last question, I am printing plus plus a and a plus plus. Then what will be the value of a and b? A is now 5, yeah, 6, 6. So it is clear. Okay, and then operators have a precedence. So whenever you say that 2 into 3 plus 5 into 6, then some operators have more precedence or importance. So Java will treat this as 2 into 3 plus 5 into 6. Okay, so multiplication operator is this star has precedence over plus operator. So then you have, so this we saw postfix, unary operators, multiplication related operators, addition operators, plus minus, shift operator, relational instance of equality, bitwise exclusive or bitwise inclusive or logical and logical or ternary assignment. So there are many operators that you can use in expressions. So play around with these things and then we can all become better on operators. So we will be using these alongside our looping and other constructs. And evaluation order, all binary operators except for the assignment operator are evaluated from left to right. Assignment operators are evaluated from right to left. And there are some shorthand forms to remember. A plus equal to B means A equal to A plus B. So these are all things to remember. Plus equal to is not same as equal to plus. So A equal to plus 3 simply assigns the assignment operator followed by a unary plus operator and is same as A equal to plus 3. So A equal to A plus equal to B means A equal to A plus B. A equal to plus 3 means just A equal to 3. The concept of short circuit operators, the logical operators and or in the logical expressions, the and returns true if both conditions are true or returns true if only one of the conditions is true. That is clear. The logical operators, this double and or are called short circuit operators, meaning if you have two conditions, condition 1 and condition 2, and if a condition, so this is an and operator, right? So for this if to be successful or true, both of these has to be true, right? And if one of them is false, is there any point in evaluating the second condition? No, right? So if first one is true, it will evaluate second one. But if first one is false, then it will not evaluate second one. And in the case of or, if the first one is false, will I be evaluating the second one or not? If first one is false, then I'll be evaluating the second one. And if first one is true, Will I be evaluating the second one? Okay, so now tell me, if first one is true and second one is false, what will be the result? It will be true, right? In case of OR. And if first one is true and second one is also true, what will be the result? It will be also true. So in case of an OR operator, double OR operator, or a short circuit OR operator, if the first one is true, the second one does not matter. So Java will not evaluate the second one. And in case of an AND operator, if first one is false, then Java will not evaluate the second one. Okay, just think logically and you will understand. Bitwise and OR operators. If you don't want short circuiting for any reason, we can use the bitwise and OR operators instead of logical and OR operators. So that means if you are using a single AND or a single OR, irrespective of the result of the first condition, second condition will be also done. So these bitwise operators perform the double AND or operations bit by bit for each bit of the operator. Bitwise operation is a little bit advanced, so we'll not look into it now. As the internal representation of true and false use a single bit, the result of using bitwise operators will be the same as the corresponding logical operators, but there won't be any short circuiting and both conditions will always be evaluated. You have some examples for bitwise and non-bitwise operator. One place where this is being used is if the second one can lead to some error. In case the first is not available, then you can use this short circuit operator. And if you use a bitwise operator, so for example, you are calling this O dot equals. You are calling a method on O object. So you can check whether that O object is null or not, whether something is there in that O object. And so if it is not equal to null, then you can evaluate the second one. But here we are using a single operator. That means even if it is null, it will still call the second one and it will fail. Postfix and prefix we already discussed. So some examples: a plus plus expands to a equal to a plus 1, a minus minus expands to a equal to a minus 1, plus plus a expands to a equal to a plus 1, minus minus a expands to a equal to a minus 1, and b equal to a plus plus expands to temp equal to a equal to a plus 1, and b equal to temp. So basically b equal to a equal to a plus 1. So similarly, b equal to a minus minus expands to temp equal to a equal to a minus 1, b equal to temp. And again, b equal to plus plus a equal to a plus 1, b equal to a. So b equal to minus minus a equal to a minus 1, b equal to a. And then print a plus plus, it will print a, then a equal to a plus 1. Print a plus plus a means it will first do a equal to a plus 1 and then it will print a. Operator plus overloading in Java. So Java doesn't allow operator overloading yet, unlike C, C++ and all, where you can have multiple meanings to the operators. So here, by default in Java, Java does not allow for operator overloading. So overloading means giving more than one meaning to a same thing. For example, if it is a method overloading, then two methods with same name but different arguments. Here, a single operator plus with two different meanings. So this is a very important and interesting concept. So if you just follow along, we can learn all of it just now. Clear until now? So you have a plus operator, but that is only operator that is overloaded in Java. And if both sides are numbers, it will do a numerical addition. And if any of those sides is a string, what it will do? It will do a string concatenation. When you add a non-string operand such as an integer or a character to a string, the non-string operand is converted to a string and string concatenation happens. If both operands are char literals, The plus operator performs addition rather than string concatenation by promoting each of the character valued operands to int values through widening primitive conversion. So that widening primitive conversion and all we have not learned. Do not worry. Just understand that characters are represented behind the scenes by ASCII numbers. So it will get converted to those numbers in this particular case. So let us consider some examples. So let me copy paste this, and so tell me what will be the output. What will be the output if I execute? If I execute this, so the result is false. Why result is false? Because this plus operator here has more precedence over equal to operator. So we looked into operator precedence and all, right? So how we may see it is this will be printed, and then this will be evaluated and the result will be printed. But what happens in reality is both of these are considered or added together as a big string, and that big string is compared with the second one. So in case if you want to compare only these two, then you can do like this, but the result will be first and second are equal, colon false. Again, the reason why these two are false is a little bit more complex. We will look into it when we look into strings. So what you have to understand is if you do not provide brackets, it will work according to operator precedence. Okay, so now let us go back and then pick up the next example. So now you tell me when I execute this, what will be the result? So here Fortran is a string, and you are adding a number to Fortran. So if one side is a string, the result will be string concatenation, and the answer is 42042. So now I will copy paste the third example, which is little more complex, or I would not say complex. It will actually make things clear for you. Okay, how do you add comments? You can add comments like this, right? Single line comments. Okay, so what will be the value of system.out.println of A? Okay, Java println statement, see it as a character A. So whenever you are giving it in a single quotes, it is a character. Double quotes, it is a string. Okay, unlike many other languages, string is not a primitive. So string is actually a class. Okay, so now, so because println knows that okay, A is a character, so the overloaded version of a println considers it as a character and prints the character A. So now, what will be the value of this one? Second one. So here, even though A is a character and B is a character, always imagine that you are Java compiler or Java interpreter or Java virtual machine, and then you have to do this operation. So plus has only two meaning, right? One is adding it as numbers. One is adding it as string. So here A and B, are they strings or are they characters? Are they string? No, right? They are not string. So you cannot do string concatenation. So what else Java can do? What else this plus operator can do? It has only two things. It know only two things. One, add to numbers or add to strings. Here you cannot add them as string. So they will be considered as integers because characters are internally represented as integers. And if you run them, you will get this value of 195. Do you know how this 195 has come? Okay, if you search in Google for ASCII numbers corresponding to each of the alphabet, capital and small has different ASCII numbers. So you will come to know. So here, because of plus, it's taking ASCII value. Yes, it is because plus can only do numerical addition or string concatenation. So here, none of the sides have string, so it will be numerical. So your left and right hand side characters will be converted to their respective ASCII value, and then they will be added. Clear until now? So now this third one, what it will print. Okay, so what it will print? Everybody are telling H195, H195, HAB. Let us see. It will print HAB. Why? First H is a character or a string or a number. Tell me. H is a character. No. H is a string. Okay. So H is a string. A string plus whatever it is. Will it be a numerical addition or a character concatenation? If any of the sides of a plus is a string, it will be string concatenation. So string concatenation means H plus A. It will be HA. So now this HA is a big string, and this HA string will get added to character B. So it will be HAB. Clear? So now if I come back here and if I ask you what will be the result now, tell me. Everybody has to tell what will be the result now. Okay, so now let me run it. It is 195H. Why? We already learned, right? So whenever Java is evaluating an expression, it will be from left side. So first A is a character and B is a character. So these two will be added. So when two characters are added, what will happen? We have already seen it here, right? It will be numerical addition of ASCII values. So this A plus B will be 195. And then this 195 plus H, this H is second one, H, second H is a string. So 195 plus string H will be 195H. Clear? So this is how you do exercise for your brain, right? I had told about exercise for brain, right? So you have to do these kinds of things. And if you feel that you cannot do, then your brain is weak. You have to start doing more exercise for your brain. And now, tell me the result of this last one. Everybody has to ping, even if your answer is wrong. Okay, so if you can use your brain for solving problems, you can solve problems at work also. Okay, so let me run it. So answer is 195 HAB. Why? First, these two will be added as numbers. Okay, so it will be 195. This 195 will be added to this H, and this will become a string. Whenever a string is added to something, that whole thing will become a string. So the string 195H and A, what will happen? It will be 195 HA. And this string 195 HA plus B, what will happen? It will be 195 HAB. Clear? Okay, so the concept of operator overloading with respect to plus is clear, right? Okay, so I have written down all the explanation here. You can read them later. Today, read about expressions, operands and operators again. So short circuit and non-short circuit and OR operators. So leave the bitwise ones for now. Focus on only the short circuit ones, because we will be using them in our. So these 5, 6, 7 are very much important. So these 5, 6, and 7 are the ones that are the basis for all our data structure learning classes. Okay, so these expressions, operands and operators, and then short circuit and OR. Then prefix and postfix operators in Java, operator plus overloading. So this much you read and practice whatever is seen there. From now on, you may use IDEs. you can use IntelliJ Community Edition IDE, and we will jump into something very much interesting, which is decision control, looping, and all, along with data success algorithms from coming classes. Okay, so make sure you practice all these things, understand all these things, and we will continue learning, and then we will all become very good with Java, data success algorithms, and a lot more. Okay, so happy learning and sharing. And if you have any doubt at all, always feel free to ask. And today, as an assignment, everybody has to do this particular one, the last one, where all those things are there. And then you have to share the screenshot, your IntelliJ screenshot, result screenshot in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so that is a mandatory task for everybody. So only if you share that, I will share the next class link. Okay, if you're using Eclipse, you can share Eclipse screenshot. That is perfectly fine. But if you are not using any IDE currently, use IntelliJ Community Edition and then share. Okay, so unless you practice things well, unless you follow up things, then this session will be waste of your time and my time, right? So if you are practicing and if you are following well, I can definitely teach you Java and many other things too. Many people are afraid, thinking, okay, I cannot do programming. So anybody here who is attending, feel like this is something which is beyond your reach. At least whatever we have learned until now. No, right? So whatever we have learned until now, you have understood and you are able to do, right? Whenever you have a chance, learn these things. So these days, for many companies, many interviews, you have problem solving, even if you are not into development streams. And if you can do these things well, you can get very good opportunities also. Okay, so share your feedback surely in our Java group, so that other people who are afraid can also come, and then they can also join. Okay, bye-bye, and see you all in the next class. And then we will start with decision control, looping, and if time permits, we will start with data structures and algorithms also. Bye-bye for now, and see you all in the next class.